Welcome everybody. Welcome to the next episode on ABAP on Cloud come RESTful ABAP programming training. In the last episode, we started our demo scenario for managed transaction. We talked about our scenario and the steps involved in that scenario. What is that we will be doing in next couple of days in a managed scenario? A quick repeat of a managed scenario. A managed scenario is used in ABAP on Cloud provided in a case where your company do not have any S4 system and you're purely working with ABAP on cloud. In such cases, you can utilize the managed scenario as most of the implementation will be done by the framework itself. So framework will generate all the necessary code for creating, updating and deleting the data in your database tables. As part of this scenario, we are now trying to implement a flight application with two different types of scopes. The first is the processor scope, where a flight processor can create a new flight travel. Under one travel, there can be multiple bookings, and under one booking, there can be multiple supplements. So that's another extension which I will be doing now. Today's onwards, we'll be adding another level of aggregation to this data model. I will show you that in a second. Now, the processor will be able to create, edit everything and delete a booking as well as a flight. Once the booking is created, always the status of that booking will be new. N or O means open. So that will be the status. Now from there are two possible statuses, either approved or rejected. So that's what the second scenario in yellow box out there. The yellow box indicates the approver scenario. So for a given flights, approver can go ahead and edit few fields, only few fields, like for example description and the price, booking fee, and then approver can approve or reject the given travel booking. Yeah, so that's what an approval can do. So ideally there are two different Fiori applications required. Now, since there are two different Fiori application required, you may think that do you need to develop the whole functionality two times? Because more or less the requirement is same. They both of processor and approver needs each one of them one Fiori app, but their requirement is to work with the travel as well as the bookings of given travel. That's what their requirement is. Now, for having the same requirement, it is not a good idea to develop two different CDS views, two different behavior definition, two different behavior implementation. It's not a good idea to implement two things separately like we used to do in classical ABAP. Yeah, so for two different reports, requirement almost the same, you used to duplicate your friend's code from an ALV report, and then you used to give the another scope. So that's not a robust way of programming. There is no reuse in the classical ABAP approach. In such cases, you got to build two different module pool programs only. There is no way you can have a different scope developed. So that was a very cumbersome approach. So here now, since there are two different Fiori apps required, still you can live with one single data model. Yeah, exactly, you can live with one single data model. You can have one common behavior definition which can be implemented. In this case, we will be using managed scenario. The framework will implement the create, read, update, delete. And then we can have one common behavioral implementation called pool, behavior pool, in which all the implementation will be done centrally. And then you can have projections on top of this full-fledged functionality. So this is your full-fledged functionality you are building in the center. This is the pillar, this is the core you are building, and from this full-fledged functionality you can project whatever you need. You can just take out whatever you need for a particular scope or a particular scenario. So for processor scenario, we need capability for create, read, update and delete. All capabilities we need, we will only scope and take out this particular piece of functionality from the full scope. So in the middle you have the full scope. From here you extract and project only the processor scenario functionality. On the right hand side, the approver doesn't need to create a new flight booking, a new travel booking, no need of create. So you only need edit also needed for few fields, not all the fields, and just you need approve and reject. So here from the full-fledged functionality, we will extract out only the scope for approver. So this way you have a very robust programming approach going forward in the RESTful ABAP programming. Together with that, in today's episode, I will make you aware with some new ABAP syntax and also entity manipulation language. So these are the two important topics focused on today's session. Actually, that's what we'll do. Then we'll talk about in context of RESTful ABAP programming knowledge. Business object is not a business object what you learned in the ABAP on HANA course, which was BOPF, right? You learned about BOPF there. That's not the business object in RESTful ABAP. It's different. Though the name is same, it's so easy that you get confused here. What is a business object, Anubhav? Don't confuse. This is completely different from BOPF example. A business object in structural point of view in RESTful ABAP is actually collection of entities structured in a tree data structure. As you can see here, they are collection of entities. So there are how many entities right now in this collection? There are two entities currently. Yeah, there are two entities. Remember, these terms are very, very important. If you forget these terms, what is an entity, then trust me, you will never be able to learn the restful above. So it's important to understand these terms. It's a root entity. What is it called? It's called root entity. And you see, this is a composition entity. Yeah, all of these are entities. How are these entities built? They are built using CDS views. Okay, they are built using CDS views. Now there are two types of entities. One is a normal CDS entity, another is called abstract entity. An abstract entity means, as the name suggests, abstract. It doesn't have any functionality. It just have a structure. Okay, it just have a structure. It doesn't have any functionality. Then you say, why you will build such a CDS view which doesn't really return any data? Is an abstract entity. The reason is, sometimes you need import export parameters. Sometime you need import export parameters. Now, to given those import export parameters, you need data types to be declared, which doesn't have any functionality. So for example, work areas, sorry, structures in DDIC, the structures doesn't hold any data until a work area is created out of it. A table type doesn't need any whole data until unless a table, internal table, is created using that. So that's where the abstract entities will come into picture. We'll talk about this later, but just understand each of the entity here is a CDS view in the RESTful ABAP, and a combination of them together, combining all of them together, that becomes your business object. समझ में आया कि नहीं आया everybody? This is your business object. Combining these entities together, it becomes a business object. And now what you do on top of this business object, you will do behavior definition at a business object level. Under that, you will have one behavior definition for each of the entity. So there are two entities, so there will be one business object behavior definition. Under that, you will write basically two different definitions, each for one entity. That's what we will be doing. And you can see here, this is a composition. Composition means a travel cannot be created without a booking, and vice versa, right? So both must coexist. Yeah, so that's a composition type of relationship which we have. Now I will change a little bit more and make it even more complex for you guys. Not complex, even more more powerful for you guys. To let's look at third level. So somebody was asking in last class, Anubhav, in this you are showing that one order has one line, multiple line items, but what about each line item has multiple scheduling line item? Correct. In sales order we have that functionality. In VA01, those who work with SD, you all know that we have a sales order. For that we have line items, and for each line item we have multiple scheduling line items. So we are now going level 3. So right now it's level 1, this is level 2, and then what about level 3? So I will be enhancing this scenario as more intuitive for you. Will be increasing it with another level, guys, today. So let's start first a quick change in our existing model which we created. So this is our existing model. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another table in this model. So for that, I just copy this, paste it here. So in our reference scenario, I will be adding another model, guys, and that is going to be my, and the tables also are changing now. We are using, since the new another composition level 3, then I think there is another set of table we should use, and this table starts with /dmo/travel_m. Okay, and this one is called _m, and there is another table called booking supplement _m. So that's another table I'm introducing, guys. Booking supplement. What is a booking supplement? Whenever you are traveling, you will book your travel. So suppose you have to go from point A to point B. Let's say you want to plan to go to from India to US. So this is one travel request you have. So India to US back to India. So this is one travel request. This whole thing is one travel request. Under this travel you have multiple bookings. So suppose you have two bookings here, one to go from Mumbai to New York, another is from New York to Mumbai. So how many bookings it has, this travel? It has two bookings, one flight from India to US, and one is another is back from US to India. So you see there is one travel and it has multiple bookings. Now each booking, when you're traveling from India to US, within that you may order drinks, you may order food, you may order extra luggage space, you may order a lot of supplements out there, right? You need extra facility, let's say you need a wheelchair. So all these are extra facilities in this booking which are managed by booking supplement. So can anybody tell me what do you think is a relationship between booking and booking supplement? What do you think relationship between booking and booking supplement will be within one travel booking? Exactly, perfect answer, Pooja. Again it will be multiple. So for one booking there will be multiple booking supplement. When you are traveling with the first booking is India to US, this is one booking. In this booking now you are ordering food, drinks, everything. So that's your that's something which you see here, this whole bunch of things, these are your booking supplements. Clear everybody? Is that clear, guys? I'm making our model more robust, more intuitive to you, for you to understand even more third level of interaction with the entities. Yeah. So this is equivalent to, now let's take a case of sales order. So here you have sales orders. Each sales order has multiple line items, and each line item has what? Anybody from SD here? Anybody from sales and distribution, SD, SAP SD department? What is each line item has typically in a sales order? Scheduling line item. Superb answer. So this is the level 3 we are going now in our scenario. So you can implement exactly the same sales order scenario, entire sales order application accordingly in your company with the managed scenario. Is this scenario clear, guys? How many entities? My question to all of you, how many entities we have in this scenario now? Who will tell me the number of entities? Number of entities in this scenario? Perfect answer. Perfect answer, guys. You all understood the concept of RESTful ABAP. There are three entities. How many business object they have? How many business object we have here? How many business object? Perfect answer. Ramana has got the fastest and perfect answer. It's one business object. All of these entities combiningly one business object in RESTful ABAP. Superb. How many root entities? How many roots? Perfect answer. Superb. This is only the root entity. There's only always the one root entity. How many behavior definitions we will have in a behavioral definition file? How many behavior definitions will we create in a behavior? So file will be one, but the definition will be three because each per entity. Everybody, are you all with me with the demo scenario for now? Is this clear to every one of you in the room? If it is clear, let me proceed and build it for you. Okay. So we'll be learning some killer concepts of RESTful ABAP today's class. It is going to be a fantastic class. You will miss it forever. This class is the most important class of entire RESTful ABAP programming model. Today's class is the most powerful class. Without this class, impossible to run or learn RESTful ABAP programming model. So let's get started. I have already created in the last class. Just me connect to our trial system. Yes, Jasmine. All right, connected. You can join with the same link. Yeah, we already started, Jasmine. Yeah, you can just join in. Same link. Okay, thanks. All right, guys, let me just open the server. It's again asking me credentials. Awesome, awesome. Let's come down. All right. So now here you can see this is, we will go to our package. So our package is ZATS00. In last class, we've already created our business object. Just have to choose the system to make a search in the system. That's our package. All right. So that's our package. And now we will open the scenario which we started building the other day. So, yeah. And we started with building our core data services. And we had built this managed travel, managed booking, and a managed scenario, right? So now we have added an additional one more table. Yeah, so that for that also will build an entity. Now look at this entity here. So this is currently selecting from DMO travel. I need to change this to _M because I want to now include another set of steps, basically another set of tables, because and that table is only supported with this data model, new tables, new set of tables. I'm going to save it, nothing changes. But now here we have some property names little differently mentioned. So we got to use those properties now. So I think it's overall status and stuff like that. Just include everything. Okay, maybe I just quickly change this everything here. Okay, just add new stuff. All right, so that's what we do. And now we will just mark quickly our currency fields. So which is my currency code? This is my currency code @semantics dot currency code is true. And now the booking fee and total price will be referring to this currency code semantics dot amount dot currency code. Please refer to my currency code annotation. Yes, and this also refers to currency code. Now we will also have created by, changed by. So these values in the RESTful ABAP, whenever you are actually creating a new travel request, they will be auto populated with current user, current time, right? So that's the reason we are going to give some annotations here as well. Semantics dot user created by is true. So now framework will automatically assign the current user who's creating this. Okay, and then created by, which is created at semantics dot system date and time created at is true. The next comes is last changed by. Yeah, it's true. And the last one comes is last changed at. Awesome. So framework will be automatically adding, and as you all remember, this field will be used For E-tag, we already talked about E-tag in the last session. Please go back and check that session. Heading it. This is the another database table. We'll be adding as a product on supplement ID, product supplement ID. And then we will also add it with the text actually. Which product is this? Association. That's your third level, like scheduling line item. Supplement text. Yeah, this is the table. So let me just show you some data, how it looks like. Just save this and add all the associations at the bottom. And we will be also bringing one of the field from the parent, which is travel last changed at. For E-tag purpose, awesome. So that's your values. And now here we also have some semantics to represent currency and price. Currency code is true. And that's all our view is all about. And it cannot be yet activated. As you can see here, we have a problem. It's the parent is not referring to as a composition child to this. So let's do that. I'm going to save this. And now let's define the parent child like we did between the travel and the child booking. You see composition. See this composition which was done from travel to the booking. Similarly, it should be done also here, travel to the booking. Yeah. So same way, the way this composition was done, our next composition will also be done in the same way for the booking supplement between the booking. So I'm just going to come down and go to booking, and here in the booking we will just say I will have a composition relationship with booking supplement. So composition, there can be multiple. Now this time it's 0 to star, which means it's possible that a customer can go for meal or may not go for meal during the flight, during their booking. It's not mandatory, because whenever you booking a plane ticket, a flight ticket, you have to book the travel ticket for sure to travel. But it's your choice whether you want additional travel insurance or whether you want meal or not want meal. So all these are optional things. So that's why it's zero minimum cardinality, because it's possible that you may have a supplement ordered or you may not have a supplement. It's not mandatory. So off. And now our CDS view ZATS 00M booking supplement. Yeah, that's what as book supplement. And I'll just come down and also include this association here. And let's just cross check everything. Now you see we have a cyclic dependency created. Cyclic means until I activate my booking, I can't activate my supplement. Okay, first of all, this should be supplement. Book supple. Yeah. So now you see my book supple cannot be activated, and its system is telling me that the source book supple does not exist. Why it does not exist? Reason is simple, because you just created and could not activate. Now since you created an association to parent here, the book supple cannot be activated until the parent is not referring to it. So you have got a cyclic deadlock. So this is not existing according to the system. It's not active, and I can't active this guy until unless I have the parent referring to me, and I can't activate the parent because parent is not cannot be activated yet because of child. So one way is you remove this code, activate, and then come back, put this code again, and then do the activation. Another trick is you do simultaneous activation. Let me show you that. Now before that, let me check what's the problem here. Is there any problem? Key travel ID is missing on condition of the parent. Not sure why it's giving, but let's try now. So I will activate both of them together. How do you do that? There's an option in ADT called multiple activate. Here you see, just click on that, and now you choose both of the CDS views together to activate them together. So as a result of that, now you will see when I activate, system will take care of the cyclic dependency and it activates both of them together, provided there is no error. Now there is an error actually already related to some travel. Key field travel ID is missing on condition of parent association. Where is the parent association? So this is the association to parent. Key travel ID is missing. Key field travel ID is missing on parent association. Okay, we have to also include the travel ID here. It's already there. Why system is giving me this error? So key is already included here, the travel ID, the booking ID, booking supplement ID. We have supplement ID. All of this is there. Why it's saying the key travel is missing? We had put here the managed one also. Okay, let's do one thing here. Instead of this travels entity, we will, because it's not an entity relationship, we have to add a database table here to do a cross check if the valid travel ID is given. So I have to add here travel database table. We'll do that. Not the CDS. CDS can only be added here. And now hopefully that travel issue will go away. Let's give a try now. I will do multiple activate once again. Both of them together, say activate. And let's see what happens. Again, a problem. What is the problem here? Key field travel ID is missing on condition to parent. Let's see the table field name.
I think it is expecting you to write at line number 8. In addition to booking ID, the travel ID also. Then we are mapping to the parent booking.
I think here only it is expecting an and condition with the travel also. Yes, you're right. Because the booking table has two keys. If you just go to the booking, you have composite key here, travel and booking both. So both needs to be added in the relationship. That's what it is expecting. You're right. Here also it is expecting this. Let's try now. Yeah, the error is gone. And now let's try to once again activate both of them. So this is the whole process of building our business object with third level included in it. Let's see if our activation goes good. Yes, it goes good. There is no error anymore, and we have successfully created our business object. This business object includes three entities. So what we have done by far, this is our demo model. In this demo model, we have a business object. In this business object, we have a root entity, which is a travel. A travel contains multiple bookings. For example, if you want to go from point A to point B, then there are multiple flights you need to take for going from point A to B and B to A again. So one travel request contains multiple bookings, and each booking then can contain supplements. Supplements like you would like to probably take take meals or you want to take a travel insurance. So those are extra supplements. So it's a one to multiple relationship between these entities. All of these are entities. So we have total 3 entities. This whole thing in RESTful ABAP programming context is called a business object. In the system, we have realized by creating a route view for travel. Under that, we have booking view, and furthermore we have the booking supplement view. So these are your 3 entities in RESTful ABAP programming model. Yeah, and in the next subsequent step, now we will go ahead and define the behavior definition for that. Okay, so in the last session I've created this behavior definition. I'm just going to quickly delete this and add a new one because now we have got a new child in the composition tree. So now I will create another behavior definition once again of managed type. So let's come here, this ZATSM travel we have, right click on this, and we will create a new behavior definition. So this is your business object. Right click here and say new behavior definition. This is the option you choose. Do it on the root level and watch out the magic. I do it at the root level, and now I'll choose this time, instead of unmanaged, I choose managed, because let the framework do the implementation behind the scene. I say next, I say finish, and there you go. You can see managed definition, and now we have to of course uncomment the lock master, and e tag field also we will mark it last changed by. That's my e tag field. Change that. And then we have also log dependency, on what keys it is dependent. So basically it's depending on the travel ID. If somebody is editing travel ID, please lock my booking editing also. If somebody is editing the parent, then maybe the child cannot be edited alone. Yeah, that's your dependency. And then also e tag master, last change that. And here also e tag master, last change that. Last change that is not there because we not added that. We will add that quickly in the child view also. Let me just go ahead and do that. So here we will just get also the last change from the parent. Activate, come back. Yeah. And now guys, watch out. Since it's a managed scenario, you have to specify which table the framework, the RESTful ABAP framework should insert the data you see here. You have to specify that. So this is the database table. Please insert data in this table, and all the code to insert, update, delete the data. Do we need to implement this code ourselves? Anyone? Do we need to write the code like we did in the last case to insert, update, delete our database table? Do we need to do that? No, we don't need to, because it's a managed scenario. System will do this for us. Framework will do this for us. All right. So that's what we did. And now we come here to booking, and let's also come here and say slash DMO. For this also we have to specify the table in which it should insert the booking supplement data, slash DMO slash booking supplement. Let me just check the database table name which we used. This one. Just have to put that as it is. There's no code completion. All right. Now that's your booking supplement behavior definition. And you have to do log dependencies based on again travel ID. Yeah. Just save this. And all looks beautiful. Now guys, remember, in case of a managed scenario, it is not mandatory to specify, it is not mandatory at all to specify the behavior implementation. Okay, only behavior definition is enough. Let me activate this, and yeah, now your behavior definition is active. The framework would have also generated the necessary code to insert, update, delete data in your booking, in your travel, in your booking supplement. The question comes, how do I test it now? Till here, if I am able to create, how do I test it? So by far, as part of our business object, we have created a set of one business object. By far in the session, we have created one business object. This business object contains three entities. The first entity is the root entity for travel. Each travel request contains multiple bookings, and each booking contains multiple booking supplements. Now we will go ahead, then we go ahead and created a behavior definition here. The behavior definition is specifying which is the table in which the data should be inserted. One thing to note here, the definition type here is a managed scenario. For managed scenario, the framework will do the insertion automatically for us. All right. So now in order to try the test this business object, we have to use a special language called EML. EML stands for Entity Manipulation Language. It's a completely new syntax, new offering by ABAP Programming as part of RESTful ABAP programming, which can be used to interact with this business objects entities now. All right. That's why it's called Entity Manipulation Language, EML syntax. So I will show you today the EML syntax. We will write a local class and we will learn how can we test these using our local class. But before we do that, let's have a quick look at some new ABAP syntax, because some of you were not attended my ABAP on HANA come S4 HANA training. Hence, you would have missed out some of the core ABAP syntax, which is quite critical for this session. So first, I will introduce with the core ABAP syntax to all of you. New ABAP syntax, which has come from NetWeaver 7.4 onwards, so that when we write such a code, you guys should not get confused. Anyway, all this source code will be available to all of you. I will be sharing it with all of you. You guys can try this out. All right, let's come now. And what I will do is I will be creating a new ABAP class. So just do that, source code library in this cloud system to make you aware first the new ABAP syntax. So let's have a quick recap of new ABAP syntax. This is core ABAP syntax, which is introduced from NetWeaver 7.4 onwards to make your life so easy. Later on, when I will be writing this code, you should not get confused, Anubhav, what is this value hash or what is this you are doing here? What is this? Is this REST or is this core ABAP? So guys, this is core ABAP. So I'll write some core ABAP new syntax to make you understand basics. So you not get confused between RESTful ABAP and core ABAP. All right, that's the whole idea here. So now what I will do is I will declare here three data types. Let's take a very simple use case. I will create three data types. So types begin of type sales, and in the sales data I have customer, type C, length 10. Then I have amount, which customer ordered for, type int 4. And then I have country from where the customer ordered this product, land 1. Data type I will use end of ty sales. I will also create begin of ty sales new, and I will, instead of customer, I will use here maybe let's say a different meaning called, let's say, ship to party, type C, length 10. Then instead of amount we say gross value, type int 4. This is core ABAP I'm teaching right now. CTRY country, type land 1. End of ty sales new. We'll go little faster, as you all know core ABAP, so I will not be spending much time on this. ty invoice I will create, and this invoice will have same structure like your sales data. Just do that, and then we will create some table types. TT sales, type standard table of ty sales. Then I will create another thing called TT sales new, type sorted table of Watch out guys, this is interesting. TY sales new, and then I will use it as a key with the unique key, and the unique key is ship to party, or I will just use this as a TT invoice, table type invoice with the sorted table with unique key customer. And let's create the next one, TD sales new. Third, ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं. This is another value expression. Okay, you can do that. You can do that. Of course, you can do that. And I will change some values. No problem. Let's just change some values. So second one is SAP again. Let's say 1800 India. Then third one comes is, let's say, Tapla 2500 India. Again Tapla comes 2800 US. Then comes Nestle 7800 US. Then comes is Nestle again 7400 DE. So now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 records added to the table. See how easy it is to include the record without creating extra work area in your table. Awesome guys, that's a new ABAP syntax, and you can see your 6 records are appended. Of course it will override the last appended record because you're doing an assignment here. Okay, that's why it's going to override all the last selected record. So that's my table. But now comes another thing which you do very often in ABAP. You move the data from one table to another. Isn't it? That's what you do. So now, for example, if the two tables have the same name of fields, you can see here invoices. It has customer, amount, and current country. And you have this type sales. It has the customer, amount, and country. Both are same. And I want to move from one to another. So let me just right now this one create as a standard table only without any key. Okay, without any key. Just do that. So this is my invoice table, and I now want to move the data from my sales to invoice. Okay, I want to do that. How do you do that? How do you do that? So you will do a loop at iTab, yeah, loop at iTab into work area, and then you will move corresponding work area to work area 1, and then you will say append work area 1 to the new table JTab, which is similar, and then you end the loop. This is what you do in classical ABAP. Bad idea. Bad idea. We have a new syntax to do that in one shot. Exactly, you pointed it out. So I can directly say tab invoice equals to corresponding hashtag, and then I will put my source table this. Automatically, no looping, no complicated logic, all the records I'm saying here, notice here, all the records will be moved from table sales to table invoice wherever the column name is matching. Now this can produce a dump if the column data types are mismatching but that column names are matching. Okay, so be careful. The target should be compatible to store the data coming from the source. So both has to be compatible with the same name and same data types. All the matching column names will be moved automatically. All records will be moved to the new table. I'm going to activate and show you. Let's run this, and now you will see in the result. Okay, just activate. You will see in the result that will show you the invoice data, same as the Tapla. Okay, same as the sales data. Let's do F9, and you see here the sales data, and if you scroll down a little, you will see this is the invoice data is printing. Ye samajh mein aaya everybody? Is this clear, everybody? Everyone in the room, is this clear? How to move the data in one go using new ABAP syntax? No need of complicated looping and multiple work area processing anymore. This is another syntax which is corresponding syntax. I would rather put this here in the this one. This is first variation of corresponding syntax. I would call it as move data when from source to target when both column names are matching. तब मूव करना है इससे. This is operation number one. Operation number two, what about my target table column names are not matching? Look at here this example. I have a sales data. I have my sales data in this format, and my target is, let's say, this one, type new sales. But in this, you see customer is not there, amount is not there, country is not there, but they are same, but the names are different. Now you say, Anubhav, in this case, if I want to move from source as this, as target as this, then how do I do it? Because the names are not matching, corresponding will not recognize it, correct? So how do we do in this case? This is also possible with the corresponding. Let me show you. That's another variation of corresponding. So again, now this time we are moving to tab new sales. All right, tab new sales. So tab sales new equals to corresponding hashtag, and now in this you will be doing this movement. How will you be doing this movement? Very easy. To do this movement, now you have to specify the target columns. You can specify target columns. How you do that? You can say my source tab sales space mapping. Okay, you do mapping of what? So now I'll say I will map my source and target step by step. What are all the source, what are all the target? So in my target I have ship to party, gross value, and country. These three are there. Ship to party, and this data should come from the customer field of the source. Gross amount, it should come from the amount field of the source, and CTRY should come from the country field of the source. Everybody, are you clear? This mapping you are giving extra in corresponding, so you can also move the data from a non-mapping, non-same names. Name same नहीं है अगर field का तो भी data move कर देगा. This is the new syntax with a mapping variation. Is this clear, every one of you? Are you all clear, everybody on this room, how to do this mapping? Your new sales data will be printed. Now let's press F9. You will see new sales data is printing exactly the same. Clear, everyone in the room, how to do this step? Now suppose I don't want to move gross amount and country. I only want to move ship to party. Okay, I only want to move shift to party. You can remove this too. It will only move shift to party, and rest of the value I want to initialize with the null value or default value. So you can say accept star. ऐसा कर दो, and now activate. Watch out what happens now. It will only move this value. Rest of the value will be initialized as null value in the target. Run this. Just come down. Oh, it's not doing accept star. Not working that way. Did I activate properly? Yeah, I have activated. Let me press F9 and clear the console. Let me clear the console first and now press F9 again. So now I press F9. You see, it did not even move the data. Actually, it did not work. Okay, except start did not work. It did not move the data. Maybe you just have to remove this. I'll show the accept usage. This comes with another purpose. I will show you that in a second. I just press F9 now. Clear the console. See, it's not moving the data, guys. It's not moving. If you're moving only one field, it's not moving the data. Okay, it's not moving the data. It's just keeping it as it is. So we have to live with the old one only. Let me just add again. Yeah. So that's your another way of if the data is not matching. So this second variation you can use to move the data when field names are not matching. Now comes the third one, very powerful one. I'll just show you that. Control 7. I just comment out this code. Now suppose one of your target table is having a sorted table with a key. So what I'll do now, I will make our invoice table as a sorted table with unique key customer. So customer should not repeat. Now if you're doing this, all right, and if you come down and you enable this guy, it will start dumping, because you see in your source you have duplicate data for SAP, Tapla and Nestle. Customer is repeating. When you move such data to a table which has a unique key as a customer, it's a sorted table with customer as a unique key, it will cause a dump. This will cause a dump. I will activate this and I press F9. Just clear the console, press F9. This causes usually a dump. It's not. Just clear the console so that we can see at least is moving or not. See, last time also it did not work, I think. You see, it's not printing the data for invoice at all. You see, last time also it did not work. Maybe just have to cross check now why it's not working or why it's not displaying the data. I need to use me keyword. TT invoice type sorted table with unique key customer. I'm so sorry guys, I didn't even call the learn corresponding method. You see this learn corresponding method I didn't even call. You see fill data, print data. We are not even calling this method learn corresponding. I'm so sorry. Just have to do that. And now I think we can see it in action. Awesome. So now this statement will dump because your target invoice table is a sorted table. All right, let me activate and run now. You should see an ABAP dump because it's not proper. So I just say F9 and you see there is a dump here. ABAP runtime error. I tap duplicate key. This dump is coming. You can see this dump information here. See runtime error caused by this user because of I tap duplicate key. See guys, a runtime error comes because now your target table is a sorted table with a key as customer. So you cannot move the data like this. So you have to go with the option number 3, discarding the duplicate which we were using. And I hope this should work now fine. Let's come back, save and run. And now we'll see what happens. So this is the way you can fill a sorted table, which is with the key customer, comparing this, discarding the duplicate at runtime, F9, run this, just quickly clear the console and run again, so that you can see the results on the UI. Just clear the console, be careful. So, and now you see you've got the data, and you see in your first table you have SAP, Tapla, Nestle. Now here you see you have Nestle, SAP and Tapla. Only 3 times the first hit of every record has been picked up and sorted also. You see it's sorted automatically, NST. Yeah. So this is how you can move data from one table using corresponding hashtag to another table. If the target table is a sorted table with a key, direct movement will lead to dump. You can use this addition. And now suppose another thing I want to do. Suppose the source table has 5,000 columns. This table has 5,000 columns and the target table has only 10 columns. But my purpose is to not move all columns. My purpose is to move only the customer column. Okay. I want to only move customer column. You can write here except star, which means all the other values I don't want to move. I only interested in customer field to my target table, which are unique customers. Many a times you need these kind of statements in ABAP, and that's what this will do. I press F9 and now you see it only moved Nestle, SEP and Tapla. Rest all values are initialized to 0. You see country is 0, everything is 0. It doesn't move the data. So this is an an optimized version where you can decide which data you want to move from one table to another table with an excerpt star. So this will save a lot of your time. Unnecessarily, all the data won't move from one table to another table. Okay, clear everybody this new ABAP syntax? Because this syntax we are going to use in RESTful ABAP programming is step by step, line by line. This is going to be so critical for all of us. Is that clear, everyone in the room? How to use new corresponding syntax? Everyone, are you clear? Please answer in chat window so I can proceed further with the next subsequent syntax and statements. Please answer in the chat window. Is this corresponding clear? Any questions on the corresponding from any one of you? Okay, so let's move to the next one. Learn by read key. Okay, let me just comment out this one. You can try these things out later on by uncommenting. I'll share this complete code with you next. So I will just maybe comment out this also. Okay, so next comes is field data, learn corresponding, learn read key. Okay, let's come to learn read key. I call this now. And in learn read key, what we will learn is how to check if a table contains a record or not. So what you used to do to check that in classical ABAP, you say read table, itab into work area with the key, column name equals to the value which you want to compare. This is what we used to use in classical ABAP to check if a table contains a record with the key one key or not. SAP have simplified it. Okay, what you can now do is you can just simply do a check by counting the number of line by just checking if the line exists with a given key or not. There's an easy syntax. So you can do if line exists. It's a function, it's a built-in function now, and in this now you can put your table name, itab, whatever you were writing earlier, the condition, you can simply write in the brackets. Here you can write it. This is new ABAP syntax. Does this line exist or not exist? Else and if. Is this clear, guys? The new syntax. So line exist. This is the syntax. Line exist. You just check exists. Yeah. Line exists in this I tab for this condition. You can write multiple conditions. It is always be an and condition. You cannot do an or condition. So now let's do that. I want to cross check if in my sales table, do I have a record for SAP? So I can just come and put my sales table, me tab sales, where the company is SAP. Okay, tab sales company. Why it's not working here? Oh, sorry, it's a customer field. Yeah, where customer is SAP. Remember, ABAP is not case sensitive like JavaScript, so you can write either capital customer or small customer, it doesn't matter. But literals are case sensitive, which are written in single quote. Just a core ABAP topic. And now I can say out. I can print it basically. So I have to also inject the out parameter to this method, which is learn read by key. So just come to the syntax, and I have to just move this also to this guy. And let me write this on the output, and I will say write, and I will write a line. Hopefully this is expecting a line only. Let me just check. Data is of type any, name, not sure if this works, but let's try. I'll say yes, it exists, else I will write from learn exists, no, it not. Just save, activate, and now try. So I'm going to run this F9, and if you just come down, is it writing somewhere? Not writing. Just have to clear the console, guys. It's very confusing with the console. and you see it says yes, it exists. Yeah, so it's saying yes, it has found the record in the table with a customer as SAP in the sales table. Now change this value to, let's say, HUL. Okay, and activate. Just clear the console. Before that, just want to clear the console. This is our console at the bottom. I'm just going to clear this console, and now let's run again F9, and you see no, it does not exist now. So this is another easy way to cross check if a table does contain, because you can use this whole thing in a if condition directly. This whole thing can be used in a if condition. If you using read table statement, this read table statement cannot be used inside a if condition. You have to first read it, then you have to write a if condition with sub RC status. You can't use this directly. So there are two lines of code you have to write. Same can be written in a single line of code using line exist. That's another learning with core ABAP new syntax, which we have from 7.4 onwards. All right. So that was learn read by key. Now, next one comes is new loop, my personal favorite. New loop, like other programming language like JavaScript, they've introduced new loop syntax to loop over the data. Okay, now suppose I, for reason, I need to loop over my table data and fill the another table. So maybe in this case, you see I have a sales table new, where I've shipped to party, sold to party, gross, country, and I want to do a loop over my sales data and move it to the new sales data with an additional field. Also it may have, let's say I have an additional field called control. Okay, this is one more field which we have, let's say type C. Just have some field. Okay, maybe I want to additionally fill this field also with my new cells. Okay, it's giving length has to be specified, length is one. Mhm. So now I have an additional field in my new sales structure, and I need to use that field as part of now in the loop. So I will loop over sales data, and I will fill this sales new table actually accordingly. What's giving an error? Okay, it cannot start with percentage. I just say control. Yeah, just activate. All right, so now I have, let's say, some more fields, and I want to fill them with a loop. So earlier you say loop at I tab into work area. The same can be specified or made it easy with a for loop, new for loop syntax for a line in work in an internal table. Let me show you. So we'll be filling our new sales table with the old sales table, and I will also, I've already invoked it, new loop. So let's go to the new loop. New loop, yeah, here it is, and I'll just say I want to do a looping actually to loop over the data and fill my next table. How do we achieve that? To use the loop. So we'll say loop for each line in my sales table, please loop. And in the parentheses, now it's basically, it's going to call this block of code what you write here again and again, as many number of lines you have in the tab sales. So for line in this, so it's basically loop at this table into work area, and work area name is this is your work area name. Actually you can keep any name, it will automatically declare this work area. You don't have to separately declare it, that's automatic. And now you can fill whatever you like. Suppose I want to now produce my final result as table sales table new equals to value hash. I can add it with the for loop. So you can see this is your new syntax. So now the output is of type sales new. So in the sales new, what columns do you have? You can add them here. So you can say sales new, whatever column you have, we have a agency. What was the sales new columns? Ship to party, gross, and country. So for each line, we say ship to party equals to my work area hyphen customer. Why it's giving an error? Is there any space required? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, customer gross value equals to work area hyphen amount. This is a loop actually. Country is equals to work area hyphen country. Now you say, Anubhav, how it is different from move corresponding? It's different because now I want to fill additional field which is extra field which I have in my sales new, which I've just added, called control field. I can fill it during this time, which I cannot fill it when I'm doing move corresponding. So move corresponding just moves the data from one place to another place. It doesn't have authority to write new data in the target table. But here with this kind of syntax, you can actually write and fill extra field which is there in the target sales. Okay, this is the advantage of using this new loop syntax. Is that clear, everybody? All this syntax which I taught you here are core ABAP. It has nothing to do with RESTful ABAP programming. This is all new ABAP syntax. You can use them. This is what I also covered in my ABAP on HANA training. Since many of you have not attended that training, you would have missed it, or you would have not remember it. That's the reason I have to cover this topic, because in next class I will start writing this type of logic so that you should not get confused. You know my style of teaching. I don't believe in copy paste. I believe in writing every single line, and it's also important for all of us to understand the essence of the code which we are writing. That's the reason I do cover basics. Some of you may think it's a very trivial stuff. Why are you teaching? I agree with you. That's an extra time I will be spending. The total time committed for this course was 25 hours. This will extend up to 30 plus hours now. So I am giving my time more than what is committed to you guys to make you understand from scratch. Though the time committed was 25 hours for this course, I'm extending it by 5 extra hours because it's important for me to get the satisfaction of teaching, that I am teaching you the right stuff so you can understand from foundation. And foundation is so important for anything. Time for your question. I'm done with today's session. In next class, we'll start with entity manipulation language, and we will slowly progress towards our processor and approver scenario. Yes, please. Time for your questions.
Hello,
I know.
when would this session be uploaded?
This session will be uploaded right after 4 hours from here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Please practice this, Sushant. This is so important. This new syntax. If you not practice new syntax, trust me, it is going to be challenging. If you remember quickly, I'll just open that book which I was sharing with you guys. Yesterday's class, sorry, last class, a RESTful ABAP programming book. I have seen some code which they have written in that book of RESTful ABAP programming language, and that code was also using this new syntax. So if you try to read that book, now you will understand the code which they are writing. Because if you don't understand the new ABAP syntax, it gets whole thing mixed up. So if you go to this RESTful ABAP programming language book, you will see they are writing some logic like same. Just show you
Yeah,
that.
Anmo.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a basic question.
Hmm.
So see, already people are having this on-premise system, or might be they go with S4 on cloud.
Hmm.
So why do they take this ABAP on cloud service extra? Is there any specific advantage of taking this?
Okay, good question. But first, let me show you the code which I wanted to show you guys, which where it is helping you. The today's class is helping you where it is help you today's class. So that's what I want to show you first. This complete ebook I've read through already 2 weeks ago, and this is a phenomenal book to learn RESTful about programming actually. So I'll come to your question in a second, but let me just first show you where this syntax which I taught you will help you guys. It will help you in implementation of behaviors. Just come down a little bit. Yeah, now we are very close to the syntax. Just give me a moment. I will take up all your questions, don't worry. Everyone's question I'll take. You see guys here, append value hash. See here, value hash, which I taught you, the value hash, value expression. Yeah, and you see places where they will use corresponding hash also. So you see they're all
Are
using
you
value.
sharing it, Tanbo? Are you sharing that? We are not able to see it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Now you can see. So see in this ebook which I shared with you guys, you see this value hash syntax they are using. Now you may easily get confused that Anubhav, is this RESTful ABAP? No guys, this is core ABAP. They're using ABAP programming to do that stuff. So value hash, you see, they're using value hash. Now if you just come down, use more places, you will find also, you know, the corresponding hash is also being used heavily. It's heavily used. You see value hash again. Yeah. So then you will see this components reading, see this key reading by key. Yeah. So lot of these syntax they are using it. So you see this value hash again. Similarly, places you will also find corresponding hash, many places. So this is so important and imminent to learn this new syntax. If you not learn the new syntax, it's going to be very challenging. So that's why the reason is I've covered this topic. Now coming to your question, Anubhav, where do you see the ABAP on cloud? Because customers have already S4 on-premise and maybe they have already taken S4 HANA cloud as a solution, right? So where does the ABAP on cloud is coming and fitting in this strategy? What kind of solutions and why will a customer buy an extra license of ABAP on cloud, which is so costly? The first reason for that, both of these, first of all, on-premise, it only remains in your company. If you build an app in OP, you cannot expose that app on internet. Okay, cannot do that on internet. If I want to use it on my mobile without connecting to corporate network, can you expose such an app? Cannot. Second, in S4 cloud on the other side, they do not give you a modification right. You can't even write a single ABAP code in ABAP S4 cloud. There is no place, there is no access to SAP GUI also. Here you have SAP GUI access, but you cannot expose the app to internet. Here you don't have SAP GUI access at all. It's not even there. Then what do you do if your customers users, all the end users want to access a Fiori app on their mobile without connecting to corporate network? What do? You have to use SAP cloud platform, because this is a public cloud. Public cloud means internet, like anubhavtrainings.com. It's a public cloud application. You can use it anywhere in the world without connecting to any corporate network, from as long as you have internet, simple internet, your mobile phone, tablet, desktop, laptop, whatsoever, simply connect to anubhavtrainings.com. It's a public cloud. SAP cloud platform is public cloud. These two are not public cloud. This is an enterprise cloud and this is an on-premise. There's no cloud here. So to give an access to your app now, you have to use public cloud. Second strategy, your company do not have S4 and S4 cloud at all. They just want to build a solution and give it to the users in their mobile phone without connecting to corporate network. You can also go, in that case, SAP cloud platform. SAP cloud platform offers multiple programming language: Java, Node.js, HTML5 for building Fiori apps, and now ABAP. So these are all the runtimes it supports. Now you are an ABAP developer since many years. You have no clue about what Java is. You have no clue what Node.js is. I hear so many people coming and talking about technology, saying so fast, it's very difficult to survive with just ABAP knowledge now. What to do, Anubhav? This question would have come in your mind. ABAP, do I have future with ABAP? Is ABAP still relevant? Yes, this is the time an ABAP developer can bring back the confidence. This is the time when a ABAP developer can stand up and say, yes, I do have relevance in the company. Still, my company needs me because ABAP is coming in cloud. Which programming paradigm we use ABAP in cloud is RESTful ABAP programming model, which we are learning in this course. Also applicable for on-premise 1909 onwards. So in this course, what you're learning is not just relevant for ABAP on cloud, also for S4 HANA OP 1909. Whatever I'm teaching, copy paste this code in S4 HANA OP 1909 plus, it will work. It will work there because it's a programming paradigm we are learning. So even your company do not have SAP Cloud Platform, they just have OP. Still what you are learning in this course is relevant, because RESTful ABAP programming model is the way forward for programming in ABAP to build applications which are optimized for HANA, which are Fiori based applications. Okay, our server will upgrade. Hopefully one SPS 1 will come, which will come around February. So in February, we will be upgrading our current server, which we have for 1808 currently, 1809, sorry. We will be upgrading into 1909 in February next year. So that's when you can also use these learnings which we am giving you in our server. But why to pay money for server? You have already ABAP available in a cloud platform as a trial, the way I'm doing it. No server required here to learn all these things. No server required, right? You can learn everything here in ABAP on cloud trial, absolutely free. And the app which you create here is in public cloud. Actually, this app can be accessed by users without connecting to your corporate network. It's a public cloud, like my website anubhavtrainings.com. You can build your own application and publish on public cloud, accessible without any corporate connectivity in the public internet. I hope this answer your question. Why are we learning it? What is the importance? There are two important learning. What if you want to give access to the application in public cloud? Second use case, the same programming model works for OP, and way forward, this is the way. I'm not upgrading my ABAP on HANA course with RESTful ABAP. This is the only course where I will be teaching RESTful ABAP programming, which is also applies to all the on-premise customer about 1909 of S4HANA. So if you are on S4HANA OP, is still what you're learning in this course is applies to you. Even you not go with ABAP on cloud, is still what you're learning here applies to you. It's actually RESTful ABAP programming language, which you are learning in this course as a major chunk. ABAP on cloud is just a platform which is offered to code ABAP. Now the code, the way you code, it still remains the same in OP or on cloud. I hope this answer your question. Once again, I repeated this. This was also repeated in the past. Again, I repeated it today. Next question, please.
Hello, Anubhav. Just a little bit on this topic. So I was reading on the internet, and I was what I learned is ABAP on cloud is more for the S4 HANA cloud customers. That is what
Yes.
SAP is trying
Also,
to
that's
focus
another
more on.
use case. So in S4HANA Cloud, as I mentioned, there's no SAP GUI access. There is no access to SAP GUI. There's no coding you can do here. There's literally zero code you can do. Now, what about if you want to build a custom application, a Z application? In OP, you can build it, you can deploy it, you can do everything, a Z transaction also. But here, how do you build a Z application, custom application? There's no way. You have to go to SAP Cloud Platform, use one of these technology and build an extension. This is called side-by-side extension. If you want to understand this more in detail, I have a beautiful course designed for you already on anubhavtrainings.com, where I taught these concepts using Java, how to use Java and HTML5 to build a cloud extension with S4HANA Cloud. So that's this course you can see here. It's already there. I have everything for you. It's up to you what you want to take. S4 cloud extensions with cloud platform, you see here.
But can we do the cloud extension with ABAP?
Yes, I will cover that in this course.
Okay.
Yes, of course I will cover that. And there is one more use case which I don't know who was that. Was it I think let me just check the names. Just give me a second. I forgot the name. So there was one more use case. I think Vijay was asking. I'm not sure who was that. So he left the room now. So he was asking the use case. Can you consume this service which you expose on Cloud Foundry with an ABAP system, with an OP system? Yes, we can do that using a concept called communication scenario. But I don't have right now. We will do this capability, but not in detail, because I don't have a proper productive ABAP on cloud instance with me. I just have a trial instance with me. I will guide you with the steps at least how to do that. Okay, it will work fine. So we will learn that extension also in this course. Don't worry, we'll see one use case. All right, cool. So I'll catch you up in the next class, and we will start with EML, entity manipulation language. Very powerful technique to build RESTful programming applications and test your RESTful model. So today we created this model, and we will be testing this model in the next class. With that, thank you so much. Catch you up tomorrow at the same time. Have a nice day.